Did you initially, obviously now as you have an amazing vision and obviously you're looking to do, as you said, like, you want to make a big impact and stuff like that. But initially, did you enjoy that B2B, the change from B2C to B2B? Like, it's a different, yeah.
Yeah. One thing that was surprisingly good about B2B was how clearly we can define the problem, and two, how direct of a connection we can have with a customer. B2C, you're kind of on your own, right? You launch a product, but if you're having games with millions of users, one user typically don't represent the majority of the users. So you have to really look at the data as a whole. You're doing experiments and measuring the funnel and stuff like that. So you get hyper focused on data, massive data. Versus B2B, it's like you just talk to a couple of good customers who you think best represents this problem. And if you solve it, they'll pay you. You don't have to like show them pop-ups like, hey, would you like to add
Mm.
this item to, like to boost your whatever time or stuff like that. It's like, hey, you solve your problem. How much are you willing to pay? Or we think it's fair to charge this. Would you agree? Then they pay you, and boom, you solve the problem, you create a value, and you get paid. So it's a very direct connection. And then it comes down to, again, convergence, divergence. How much of the request they're making is a generalized solution? Can we converge it, or is it divergence? We have to cater to different ones through custom development work, stuff like that. More convergence you have around a generalized solution than you have a SaaS product or solution. So I felt like this direct connection made it far easier to build the initial traction. And I actually became a huge fan of B2B SaaS because it's actually repeatable in a lot of different ways.
That's very interesting you say that. So I kind of feel like what you're saying is usually people's biggest concern with B2B is, oh, it's a slow process, blah, blah, blah. But you're saying that if you create something which is of value, then it's like doesn't that all just goes out of the window because all about is it enough? Is it solving their biggest problem? And if it is, they're willing to pay whatever, and everything just basically goes away.
Yeah, I mean, so B2C, they talk about product market fit a lot, right? I think B2B is like problem solution fit. Like they have a problem, is it big enough for a problem and repeated in a scalable problem? You have a solution, does it solve that problem? If it does, then people will pay you money if you charge it the right price. So it's a very clear value creation cycle. And kind of similar to my first job or second job's experience of creating something, getting users' feedback, iterating on it, seeing them get delighted, so you can forever do this. It almost felt like that of building internal tools. So the feedback cycle is very direct, which I think was awesome.